All right, guys, today we're back with the Ultimate Rod Series. We're talking finesse fishing, clear water, highly pressured fish, summertime grind. Let's give finesse fishing its due, talk about what rods we want for throwing a Neko rig. That's right, that's what we're talking about. We've got 3 setups in hand. We've got a price point of under $150, under $300, and I don't care what it costs, just give me the best rod. That's what we're looking at. We're out on the water doing it today. We've actually got reels on these rods. We're going to show you the actions of them. We're going to show you how they fish. Hopefully we'll get a video of me casting with them. Hopefully I'll actually catch a fish. I wouldn't bank on it, but we'll see what happens. So here's what we're looking for. I want to go over the criteria of what we need in a good Neko rod. First of all, I want something around 7 foot. If it's 7 foot, if it's 7'4", if it's 6'10", all of those are fine. Let's get something in the, call it 6'10" to 7'4" range, and even 7'6" is probably okay due to your preference. I also like something that's either a medium light or a medium action. We don't want something too stiff, and in that bucket of medium light to medium, you know, there are rods that are a heavier medium light and there are rods that are a lighter medium. So either, depending on the characteristics of each respective rod, could be more than acceptable or ideal. So just keep those kind of criteria in mind. And I would say, if as just a general guideline, I think one thing that people may make the mistake of in shopping for a Neko rig rod is they generally tend to select a rod that is maybe a little bit too finesse. So you don't want something that is, you know, a light and doesn't have much backbone. You want it to have a really nice soft tip, but you also want to have, you know, some ability to set the hook and turn that fish. So especially, you know, like the body of water we're on today has a deeper grass line to it. You know, I want to be able to hop that Neko along, give it a good action. But when I set the hook, I don't want to just be totally manhandled by the fish. I need to have some sort of power about this stick so I can, you know, fight the fish. And also if I get, you know, around a couple clumps of grass, I want to make sure I don't get bogged down in that stuff. So don't go too crazy light on the power of these rods, and you're going to be just fine. So with that being said, I've got these rods in hand. I'm going to start with the under 150 price point. And you know what? We're back to one that we've used several times, and it's a series that I have told you is not very popular. I keep hyping them up, and people still don't buy them, so we'll just do it again. And it's the Shimano Intenza. And we've got here the 7'4" medium light. And I like about 3 things about this rod that made it kind of the obvious choice for me for the under 150 price point, and it comes in at $149.99, so we're right at that 150 mark. But the 3 characteristics: the length checks that box that I need. It has a very soft tip to it, which again, I really want that. I need that tip to load up well to make a good long cast. We talk finesse fishing, we talk clear water, which we definitely have today, at least for Indiana. We need to get that bait as far away from the boat as possible. That's going to give us our best ability to get a strike, to make sure we are as stealthy as possible. So that 7'4" length helps with that, and the tip on this rod definitely helps with that as well. And then the third characteristic that I like about it is just the backbone that it has. And so you don't want something that's too rigid, which this certainly is not. You just want it to have a nice smooth transition from that soft tip into just a nice firm backbone. And that absolutely fits the bill on this Intenza 7'4" medium light. So really nice, a comfortable grip here, good length on the butt section. You don't want something too long. Again, it's got to be comfortable, and this definitely does that. So pretty good overall weight as far as physical weight of the rod. We have Shimano Vanford on here right now, and this balances really, really well. Just a nice all-around rod. Sensitivity is plenty good enough. It certainly doesn't match either of the other 2 rods that we have in our arsenal here, but it's plenty sensitive enough to get the job done. So Intenza 7'4" medium light. So under 300, moving right along here, we have the Tatula Elite AGS in the 7'3" medium extra fast. So this rod is right at 300. It's $299.99, so it checks that box. It is the heaviest rod that I would consider to be ideal. So I still think this is ideal, but I definitely would not want to go any stiffer than this one. The key here is if you're throwing, we have 3 different setups here. We have a 16th ounce big bite Neko weight on 2 of them, and we have an 1/8 on the other one. This is the rod I've got the 1/8 on. So if you're throwing a little bit heavier Neko, this is kind of the default choice in my mind to go with that option. We went with the AGS guides because I really do like that guide train. It's just they look really cool. Technical advice there, but they also are super lightweight. They're really, really durable. Just awesome that they are putting that technology on these Tattua Elite rods as they have for a while now. But that's just a really cool feature. If we get to the on the water application of this rod. And I think I said it was the 7.3. This is the 7.1. This is the Ned rig rod here. So my mistake on that. This is the 7.1. But when we're looking at this rod, what we've got is a nice tip. It's not super soft, but it is soft enough. And then we've got a lot of power in the rear section of this rod. So when we set the hook, we were lucky enough to catch a fairly nice bass earlier. And whenever I set the hook into it, it was, I was in control. There was no point where it was just, where I was at the mercy of the fish. And you don't want it to be too stout, as I mentioned, but you want it to be something where it's like, okay, if I need to turn this fish, if there's, a piece of cover that it's trying to wrap me around, I know that I can lean into it, put some power in there and turn that fish's head and make it, come back towards the boat. So I think this does a really good job of that. It is super lightweight. And I have been very impressed with the sensitivity of all of these Tattua Elite AGS rods, but this one, has been fantastic in our testing here. It is extremely sensitive. I've also got it paired up with the Shimano Vanford reel, and there's probably some sort of bad mojo I just realized I've got going on here with a Shimano reel and a Daiwa rod, but we'll just ignore that and move on. But balance is fantastic, super lightweight, great rod. So when we get to the I don't care what it costs category, this was a no-brainer. It was probably the easiest decision I have made on any of the Ultimate Rod series. And it's just because this rod is, in my mind, absolute perfection for this technique. And in fact, we've got 2 other guys on the boat right now, Rob the camera guy and Colin from the shop. And when I put this rod in both of their hands and they fished with it for a minute, they were both like, wow, it's obvious. It's kind of, I don't want to be dramatic here, but like breathtaking how amazing this rod feels in hand with just the weight, the balance, the tip, the combination of all of it. And that is the G Loomis GLX 841S SJR. So this is a 7-foot rod. I think they consider it a medium light technically, fast action. This rod is just freaking bonkers. Like, it is so light in hand. The balance with this Shimano Vanford is absolutely out of this world. It has probably the best tip, and this is not hyperbole, but probably the best tip action I have ever felt on a spinning rod. It is just so soft. The transition is so smooth, but there's the right amount of backbone. At no point do you feel like, man, this thing's just a buggy whip, it's too soft. It has the tip, it has the power, it has the transition, and we'll get some videos of me showing you the profile of the flex on this rod, but it is outstanding. The guide alignment, just the casting, every single part of this is just mind-blowing. It is, it gets the biggest stamp of approval that I can possibly give. So well done to G Loomis on this particular rod. Right butt section length, it's right at that 7 foot, it's a medium light. To me, it is the ideal Neko rig rod. It's the ideal finesse spinning rod, really. It's kind of the unicorn, if you will. It's I could have 3 or 4 of these on the boat and probably cover 90% of the spinning applications that at least I do on our waters here. So cannot recommend this enough. Extremely impressed by it. And that's what we've got going on for the ultimate Neko rig rods. All of these are obviously available at AmericanLegacyFishing.com. Go down below, give us a like, give us a subscribe. I told Rob the camera guy I'd do something a little special for him if we got over 3,000 subscribers. So let's help him get there. He works really hard, and he's a giant pain in the you-know-what, but I still like the guy, so let's hook him up. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all the support. If there's anything you ever need, feel free to call us, email us, message me on Facebook, here on YouTube. Anything, any way you want to get in touch with us, go for it. We're happy to help you out. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.